Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Update. It's a quarter to 10 on June the 17th, and getting started with the heat here. Today wasn't too bad, and if you were on the South Shore, it actually was pretty pleasant. Uh, but you could see the sky was kind of hazy. You could see a lot of that haze in the sky, just junky looking skies today. And that's what we have when we're in an air mass like this. You'll see there are some thunderstorms popping up over western and central Pennsylvania, but that's not going to be bothering. That's not going to be bothering us at all. Temperatures right now, we got temperatures generally in the low 70s in the middle of the island, and on the South Shore, you're around 70 degrees. So you can already see the temperatures aren't that low tonight. Sign of the warmer air mass that is moving in. Throw in the dew points. We've got dew points in the upper 60s, so definitely on the humid side. As you head out to Suffolk County, still 72 at Islip, so yeah, the temperature's definitely holding a lot warmer than they were yet last night, that's for sure. Central Park's still 77, and let's see if it's cooled off much in Jersey, and it hasn't, so they're in the low 70s as well. So yeah, it hasn't really cooled off much. A sign of the warm air that we have, and you see the heat advisories all around us, and let's see, so Jersey, we still have that excessive heat watch. The heat advisory is going to start tomorrow for Jersey, and does not look like this includes New York City, so mainly New Jersey, west of the Hudson until we get north of White Plains. And this goes way up. Even if you go all the way up to like Platts, oh my gosh, Burlington, Vermont is still 81 degrees right now, so it's very hot. It's actually hotter the further north you go. It just shows you how strong that ridge is. The other side, Saranac Lake is down to 68, but still very warm. And this is going to be this is going to be the most substantial heat wave we've had in quite some time. So let's go look at the highs today, and them on the map here. And I'm sure Jersey is going to be a big contrast between Long Island and Jersey as soon as we get these to load up here. Yeah, highs on Long Island generally around 80 degrees. Seems like we're missing some data here. Generally around 80 degrees on Long Island here. We got a few more here. So around 80, generally 79 so generally around 80 degrees if you're on the South Shore. Right on the beach, it was mid-70s. Central Nassau, we got into the mid-80s along with the city. And then as we go into Jersey, you can see around 90 degrees already. Let's see, probably hit 90 in Toms River, and yeah, it did at the airport, but not in Toms River itself. It hit 86. But yeah, this is the beginning of the heat wave for Jersey. Official start once you reach 90 degrees. Lows. Let's look at the lows, and the lows. Wow, West Hampton managed to somehow get down to 52. Islip got down to 60. Mid-60s in Nassau County for the most part, and upper 60s in the city. And looks like, again, Pine Barrens west of Toms River got down to 53. So it did cool off in the Pine Barrens. We definitely won't see that kind of radiational cooling tonight because the dew points are just too high to support that. And you can see this heat advisory stretches way up there. In fact, I want to put the highs back up and see what it got up to upstate today, because I think it was already pretty hot there today. Not too bad, 85, but it's going to get a lot worse. You can see the highs on the map. A lot of 90s over here. A lot of high. We already have excessive heat warning in effect for Detroit. It looks like they got up to 91 today. So you can see the heat dominating the east pretty much. A lot of heat. A lot of heat here. A lot of heat. So you can see all the heat that we have. And across the country, you can see that there's a lot of heat. A few severe thunderstorm watches in effect. A tropical storm watch. Is that a tropical storm watch? Yep. For the Gulf Coast of Texas, a good part of it, because number 1 has formed, and you can see out west the red flag warnings and frost and freeze advisories. Yeah, they're enjoying some nice cold weather over there, but a lot of us are dealing basically with the heat, and that's what we're going to be dealing with. Looking at the weather map, you'll see high pressure, big ridge in control. You can see there's a warm front that's over New England. That's going to be pretty much moving through. They'll move through Maine, and they'll get into the heat too. So a lot of people are going to be dealing with heat right now. So let's widen the satellite view out. Oh yeah, and I'll show you what the temperature is in my alley too. So this alley is at 75. So yeah, a couple degrees warmer than that alley is going to probably not go below 80 in the next couple of nights. It's going to be pretty bad. So let's go to the CONUS view here. I said CONUS, not that one. There we go. That's the right one. So we can take a look and see what's going on. So here is TD1 right here that is formed. This is definitely going to become a tropical storm. You can see it's getting organized already. You can see all that haze and yucky air throughout the whole east. You see, look at that yucky air. So we're going to be dealing with this yucky air for quite some time. And you can see it looks like we got fires in New Mexico. So you can see some smoke plumes over there as well as some in Arizona. So yes, we're in the throes of summer now. As we deal with them. And the summer does start, well, climatological summer starts June 1st, and that's usually what I like to go by, but astronomical summer starts this week. I believe it is Thursday. So, yeah, things are going to really start heating up. So let's go to our climate statistics, and you'll see there's also air quality alerts in effect for the city. And I think air quality in the South Shore is pretty good. It was a nice breeze, but when I got back here to Mineola, I got an absolutely terrible headache that I had to take a pill for. So, yep, South Shore, definitely want to be there, and that's the place you want to be. So, high 78, low 60. That is just 1 degree, actually still technically below normal today. The high was right at normal, but the low of 60 was 2 degrees below normal. So, therefore, we have, I don't know why this, I got like a thing there, and trying to slow my computer down there. But you can see that right around normal. But if we go to Central Park, you'll see high was 83 and a low of 65. That's 1 degree above normal for the day. So let's go to the Hurricane Center now and talk about this Tropical Depression 1 here. So potential Tropical Cyclone 1. It's already saying maximum sustained winds of 40 miles. They already have a page for it and a map. And this is going to be a huge, like, wind, let's see, wind speed probabilities here. It has mainly in this one area here, but the rainfall is going to be the issue. So let's go to that cone, and you'll see it has it as a tropical storm making a landfall. Actually, it looks like they've moved it south now to making a landfall in Mexico. So it looks like it's not going to be necessarily be an issue except for the extreme southern Gulf Coast. But for us, it's all going to be about the heat. And you can see the ridge right there. Let's look at the GFS here. And we're going to go use the 12Z GFS first because the 18Z has been a little bit wonky. So we'll use the 12Z GFS. And this kind of shows the ridge. There's that storm making landfall well to the south. It's not going to be that impressive. You can see that big ridge. But it looks like it's trying to develop something in the Atlantic over here. That could impact the Carolina coast, perhaps. You can see the ridge staying over us pretty much here through the weekend, and not really much relief until we get toward next week. Perhaps we can get a cold front through, but you can see it's really spinning up a lot of tropical stuff in the end. Look at this. It's trying to spin something up off the East Coast, too. Honestly, I'm not going to really pay too much attention to the long range at this point. We're kind of going through this week right now, but generally speaking, we're going to have this ridge over us, which is going to keep the heat going. And this is the 18Z run, which, looks a little bit different. Definitely stronger with the ridge. You can see there's a lot of volatility in the long range. Look at that. It's trying to develop something off the East Coast there. These models starting to develop a lot of stuff. Whether that's actually going to happen or not is another story. Now, it's very interesting that this 18Z run is a lot more intense with that tropical storm. Almost tries to turn it into a hurricane before landfalling south of the border there that you see right there. So, again, we have a lot of volatility with these models. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but we will have to watch it for sure because we all know how warm the water temperatures are and what this could cause. We will go over the icon as well to see if there are any differences in this. But you can see there's that strong ridge. Icon has it landfalling a little further to the north, as you see there. But you see that really strong ridge that just sticks around right through the weekend. And then we got to deal with stall front syndrome. So when the cold front does come, it's a matter of getting it through because it's going to have to beat that ridge down. So that would probably be our next chance for rain that we would have. But meanwhile, we've got this huge ridge in place, and that is going to mean continuous above normal temperatures and a heat wave for our area. And if we go and we switch this back to the, we can go to the European AI as well. Might as well do that as well. You'll still see that ridge right there. So you can see what's going on. We've got a big, we're in a significant ridge pattern as I went over yesterday. So that means we're going to be above normal. And let's go to the dew points. And actually, this the AI actually shows the dew points, so it could show you the humidity that we're going to kind of be stuck in. You can see how far up north into Canada it goes, and see we're going to pretty much be stuck in this humidity through the weekend, and we're going to struggle to get rid of it as we get into next week, and we have to wait quite a while until we end. In fact, there is really no end to it. Once that ridge gets established, you can see the AI pretty much has that heat going nonstop. That's the AI. This is the GFS, and it's G18Z. Kind of looks very similar here to the European AI, and keeping that ridge around. We get a little bit of a respite maybe next week, and then we go right back again to a lot of heat here. This is not looking good. This is not what I want to see at all. So let's go a little closer into the area here. We'll go and look at the HRRR model. We should have the 0Z run of the HRRR in. And I was just showing the dew points just to show you the air mass that we're going to have. But let's go ahead and we'll show you the how this all pans out in the northeast here. So HRRR has a southwesterly flow tomorrow. Starts more southwesterly, and then it turns more south-southwesterly. So that should help us with the sea breeze. But you see the humidity stays high. And then same thing happens at night. The winds go a little more back to the west again. And then during the day, they back a little more to the south-southwest. So that's why I think that's why the nights are going to be pretty warm unless you're on the South Shore. It's going to be pretty warm. Oh, that's one thing that's, speaking of warm, let me go back to the weather and hazards map here, because we got to talk about sea surface temperatures. I think they're running pretty high as well off the Atlantic coast. Let's go and look at that. This buoy here has a serious... Oh, you got to be kidding me. The water temperature's already up to 67. That is way above what it's supposed to be. So even this, yeah, these water temperatures are very warm. Water temperature 68. This is all very concerning. Very concerning. This is all very, very concerning. This buoy is reporting a water temperature 62, so you go a little further offshore, it's a little bit better, but these water temperatures are very, very warm. If we go to earthknowleschool.net, I just want to bring this up because this is going to help support the heat as we go forward. As the heat builds, those water temperatures are going to get even warmer. So if we look at sea surface temperature anomalies, take a look at this. Wow, that is very concerning. So you have the Gulf, but look at these bright yellows here that we have off the east coast here. So when we look at this kind of thing here, when we look at the, I'll put this in here, you'll see that's 6.2 degrees Fahrenheit above normal, 5.3 degrees Fahrenheit above normal, very much above normal. Even the Gulf of Maine, almost 7 degrees above normal. Very concerning hey, look at this. This is nearly 10 degrees above normal. So that's why I'm very concerned about tropical activity. And this actually gives us a sea surface temperature. Look at that, 80 degrees in that stretch. That can definitely support a hurricane, tropical storm. And then we have waters generally already in the upper 60s, and we're not even in July yet, folks. So very, very concerning about these water temperatures. I'm very worried about this. Temperatures tonight, temperatures will be generally getting down into the 60s, and then tomorrow, so when we start heating things up, Jersey, you're going above 90. Central Nassau, mid to upper 80s. The city could be close to 90. Best places to be, South Shore, further out east. Not going to drop too much tomorrow night, and then Wednesday we do it again. It's showing the 90s, but it mainly has them inland, which is good that it has the 90s inland and not so much at the coast due to that south-southwesterly flow. But if we go over to that GFS and we show you, go a little further here along, obviously you saw the dew points aren't going down, so I'm not even going to show you that. But, well, actually I do want to show you that. Because of the wind flow. So we still have Thursday. We already have a little more of a southwesterly wind flow. Look what happens Friday. We go to a killer west wind to start. Friday is going to be hot with that killer west wind, and then there's a sea breeze. And then here we are Saturday, southwest wind, and it's staying more southwesterly. So that's west-southwest wind. So the weekend could wind up being pretty hot. Then Sunday we have that cold front approaching. It stalls out southwest wind going on Monday. That would be our next chance of rain. And then we try to get the drier air in for Tuesday. Doesn't make it too far in, but at least we get a respite. And then you'll see here we have a few dry days before it cranks back up again And then, yeah, look at that. There's a tropical storm right there in the long range here. And this would actually be a week from this Saturday. So, yeah, that's a little concerning. Probably not a whole lot of wind with it, but that looks like something. We're going to have a very active tropical season. Just because it's slow getting started doesn't mean it's not going to be bad. So let's go to the temperatures next. And we'll go in. I didn't really want to hit too much on the long range, but I figured I would. So you can definitely see that Thursday we start seeing the 90s pop up on Long Island. I think we'll see some 90s possibly on the North Shore and maybe even Central Nassau getting close to 90. Friday's the day we're going to be hot. So with that more of that westerly flow, most of Long Island, the Jersey will be in the mid to upper 90s. Long Island will probably be low to possibly mid 90s in Nassau County. And then Saturday, Saturday's showing a little bit cooler over Long Island. I don't know if I'm buying that with that killer west wind that we're going to have. And then you can see the heat just keeps on. We do get a respite as we get into next week, but then it's going to come right back at us again. Look at that. Even behind that tropical system, look, it's going to be very hot. So, and again, this is the 18Z run that keeps showing this extreme heat. Look at these temperatures here. I think we have a shot at 100 here. Just look at that. That's crazy. This is the last run here, July 3rd. Now, of course, the 12Z doesn't show it that hot. Actually, we have a huge... Well, actually, that doesn't go as far. So that's part of the reason why. But, yeah, you can see that heat. That July could start off very, very hot. And let me go to the European AI. The AI doesn't go far enough either. So whatever the case is, if you're looking for cool weather, I hope you enjoyed this past weekend because we're not going to have too much of it at all this week. And like I said, the best place to be on the South Shore. Avoid the middle of the island. If you don't have enough of a reason to avoid the middle of the island, then you have even more of a reason. Obviously, we're going to have jet junk, haze. Won't be clear. It's showing maybe a little less jet junk on on Thursday, but it's still going to be hazy with this air mass around. And you said we won't really we'll try to get out of it on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday of next week for a little bit. Hopefully, we get a little bit of a break because after that, it looks like we're going to go right back into it again. Man. I am not looking forward to it. So let's go to the RGM next, and we will go look at air quality as well when we do this. So here's Tuesday. You can see not showing a whole lot of clouds, but that could be misleading. It could be a jet junk, haze. You're not going to get a nice blue sky with an air mass like this, and more cirrus on Thursday. But again, nothing that's going to block the sun. The sun's going to be out. It's going to get us enough to heat it up, and we're not going to really see too much of a chance of rain until we get toward the maybe Sunday, perhaps. Again, if I go to the GFS and take a look at the rain, you'll see we're dry this whole week. Not going to see much rain. It's showing some activity. That's mainly inland. Maybe Friday we could see some activity, perhaps. It's trying to have some chance of a pop-up storm, but looking pretty dry here. I mean, if I go through to a whole week from now, we go to total accumulated precip. Well, it does give us an inch. Okay, so it probably would give us maybe from those thunderstorms, perhaps Friday or Saturday. But let's see if the 12Z does it. Yeah, the 12Z doesn't. So this is the 18Z, the wonky run. So keep that in mind. It's a wonky run. Let's go to the European AI. Showing a little bit more, but more likely to the north. But hopefully we'll get some showers and thunderstorms because at this kind of heat, things are going to dry up fast if we don't have rain. And, of course, if we don't have rain, the ground is drier and it will heat up that much faster. So that's the other concern that we have. Let's just go over to Vent2 Sky. We'll visualize this heat a little more here. And we'll go ahead and look at tomorrow. Go to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so you get an idea that Long Island's going to be better. Jersey is going to be much, much hotter. It's still not showing 90. This underdid the heat in Jersey, so it's probably going to underdo it again. I wouldn't be surprised. It's showing more of a southerly flow. This particular, it's using the HRRR. But when we get, I think, that more southwesterly flow on Thursday and Friday, that's when we'll really start heating up a lot more. And you can see the heat here. Look at it, showing close to 100 in some areas of Jersey on Friday, which could definitely be a possibility here for sure. So lastly, let's just talk about air quality here. For that, I got to go to the Earth and Old School site, I believe, for air quality. And we have a couple of tools we can use here for air quality. Let's go to particles. And you can see there's a lot of the clean air is pretty much up in Canada and in the West, pretty much. And I think that's where we're going to be, where it's going to be staying pretty much, because we're going to be dealing with a lot of this stuff here. I don't think it gets any better. You can move this along. Looks like maybe it gets better toward the 19th. That would be Wednesday. So it's showing maybe a little less of it, perhaps. The air quality is not going to be good. It usually isn't with this kind. It's as far as we've got. So, yeah, this weather sucks. I don't like it at all. I hate it. It's not my thing at all. And unfortunately, this is what happens in the summertime. You know, and if you live on the South Shore, it's great. But if you don't live on the South Shore, it sucks. And if you live in New Jersey, it really sucks. So, that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather update. Stay cool.